Big story, we are now getting you a US intelligence assessment on what India will do if there is a terror attack from Pakistan on Prime Minister Narendra Modi's military offensive. And this report says, if provoked by Pakistan, Prime Minister Narendra Modi can give it back. The US warns Modi might retaliate with force. This American intelligence assessment after Balakot, remember Balakot happened in 2019 after Pulwama terror attack. It says no more kid glove treatment for Pakistan under the Narendra Modi government. It's a strong new India that gets new global recognition. I want to cut across to India Today's Foreign Affairs editor Geeta Mohan, joining us with more on this big story. Geeta, bring us details of this American assessment.
Well, this is a very important and a big one, Gaurav. It's the annual threat assessment of countries, regions that could pose a threat to the United States of America, but they also go ahead and talk about potential interstate conflicts that could amount to having an impact on the globe, is also particularly on the United States of America. And in that, the assessment on India-Pakistan is very clear that should Pakistan try to be adventurous yet again, India will not shy away from using military as an option. So the military option is absolutely open and exists under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, very specifically mentioning Gaurav, Prime Minister Narendra Modi, saying that Pakistan has had a long history of supporting anti-India militant groups, and under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, India is more likely than in the past to respond with military force to perceived or real Pakistani provocations. This is a huge development, but also the fact that in terms of how India is perceived in not taking action against India lightly and also retaliating and responding in same measure.
Stay with me, Geeta. Very, very interesting. Ambassador Dogra, what do you make of this assessment? Point one, point two, a realization that the United States realizes that that Balakot airstrike wasn't perhaps just a one-off?
Well, there are two sides to your question, and in fact there are two sides to this American report. Number one, I would like to ask these American intelligence officials or State Department officials who had a hand in this report, what would America do if it was subjected to terror attack by one country or the other? What did it do after 9/11? It went ahead and attacked Afghanistan.
Yes.
It tries to go to the source and wipe it out of the face of the earth. Their president has said it many times. So how does it expect that a big country like India, today the world's largest populated country, how should it react? Should it just sit back and watch the terror attack with admiration, or should it act to save its citizens? The second point is their assumption that every time there's a terror attack, India will go ahead and take military action. That is not borne out either by the past precedents or by the reaction of Prime Minister Modi during his term.
Yes.
He did not order the military to cross the border after Pathankot airbase attack. He waited patiently, hoping that Pakistan authorities would be able to or would like to check their terror machine. When they did not, only then operations like Balakot took place. So it's not as if Prime Minister Modi's actions are impulsive. I'm sorry, American assessment is dead wrong on this one. Yes, it is a more reactive, assertive government that we have today in terms of reaction to a terror attack, but it is not an irresponsible government. I think that is the distinction that these writers of the American report have forgotten to take into consideration.
And their intelligence
India's reaction is
Yes.
not knee-jerk.
India's reaction clearly not knee-jerk,
India's
very
reaction is
well
not
thought out. But in your appreciation, if there, God forbid, if there is another terror strike sponsored by the Pakistani state, would India's response be even more severe? Is that the message that this report tries to give out?
Well, that's the message this report tries to give out, but I think we have to think in our terms also, because we cannot be led by forged reports, fake reports, or motivated reports. Unfortunately, the world we are living in is full of such actions by sometimes the government themselves, because they want the other country to react in a particular way. So there is a bit of scaremongering, or there is a bit of auto-suggestion in reports like this. And America is no saint. In fact, it is one of the leading countries in putting up these false kind of reports.
Okay.
But to answer your question, whether India would react to every terror attack in a forceful manner, as I said already, no. It depends on the scale of the attack, and it depends on our assessment whether the establishment's hand has been firmly behind that terror attack, as it happened in 26/11, or as it happened in Balakot. So
Yeah.
I think India weighs carefully but quickly that what were the circumstances that led to this terror attack or potential terror attack,
So
and how
perhaps
should India react?
there is an appreciation of an assertive new India that will not take it on the chin, but give it back and call it a preemptive strike. Ambassador Dogra, for joining me here on this India Today special broadcast. Many thanks.